Hello my good ones. Adrien will be the main character of the discussion today. A lot of controversy is still going on about the mystery of Adrien's birth. Who is he, a man or a Sentimonster created with the help of the Peacock Wonder Stone? Let's study the details together, taking a closer look that will give you the answer to this question. So, two twin daughters were born in the royal family, who were named Emily and Amelie. Since Emily was born 7 seconds earlier, it was decided to entrust the fate of the kingdom to her, handing over the rings to Crème de Vanilla. Emily was curious and cocky. She didn't like the rules and used every opportunity to break them. The youngest daughter was obedient and did everything to please her parents. Parents worried about the correctness of the choice of the heiress. When Emily got older, they sent her to study in Paris, where she fell in love with a modest tailor. Despite the anger of her parents, she stayed with Gabriel and gave up a rich inheritance to live a life with a loved one. Meanwhile, the parents found a groom for the younger sister, a rich weapons baron. But time passed and none of the daughters could give birth to a child. Desperate, the older sister and Gabriel came to ask for help from rich parents. But even the best medicines could not fix this generic curse. Years passed and suddenly Emily announced her pregnancy. And now take a closer look at these shots of this moment. In the background is a peacock's tail, which tells us how they managed to circumvent the generic curse of infertility. After learning about Emily's pregnancy, her sister's husband was furious. To Colt's question to Gabriel, how did they do it? The answer was given that it was a miracle. Curious Emily felt sorry for her younger sister, and she asked Gabriel to reveal the secret to the Baron. Gabriel did so, told him that it was the peacock talisman that could give birth to life and then he would be able to control it. In return, he asked him for the best knight to protect his family. So a faithful silent bodyguard appeared in the Agrest family, whom we are all used to seeing as a defender of their family. And here are more shots of the very moment when Emily decided to magically conceive. Gabriel doubted the correctness of the decision and asked Emily, is she sure she is ready? To which Emily answered without the slightest doubt, yes. He gave her the peacock talisman, and it was about this moment that Gabriel later regretted all his life. After all, if he only knew that, at the cost of the birth of a miracle child, he would have to pay with the life of the one who used the miracle stone. It was the damaged peacock stone that caused the reckoning. But if the peacock talisman had been intact, they probably wouldn't have had to pay such a high price. Natalie told Gabriel about this, and he could easily fix it by passing the recipe for restoring the Stone of Miracles to himself in the past. Unfortunately, Gabriel did not take advantage of this opportunity, and in the end did not save Emily and ruined himself. Another proof that the creator of Sentimonster does not have to pay with his life is Master Fu. He created a devourer who lived for many decades, and yet Master Fu didn't even get sick. He was creating a devourer with a whole Palin stone, and damaged it exactly at the moment when, while fleeing, he dropped a ripple with a precipice of boiling lava. But still I am confused by the fact of being born with the help of a peacock stone, because in fact the balance of the universe is disturbed. Even Gimme herself said that if there is a life, then another life will be the payback. But we will not go into these details, there may be certain exceptions. In principle, the created Sentimonsters may not upset the balance, since they are not quite part of this world, and at any moment they can disappear one by one. We have seen more than once how Gabriel manipulates Adrien with the help of Crème de Vanilla rings. This fact alone has long proved Adrien's dependence on the talisman with a muck. By twisting the ring on his finger, Gabriel could order Adrien even in moments of absolute disagreement, forcing him to obey his father's will without question. The moment the rings were on Adrien's finger, he felt incredible freedom for the first time. In the episode, Emotion, Felix was angry at the world around him, full of injustice and manipulation. He wanted to get rid of all those who interfered with the freedom of the miracle children, namely Adrien, Felix, and Kagami. Of all the others, he left only Marinette, in whom he saw the right kind person. Felix had to pay a high price to get a guarantee of his life and the safety of his brothers, namely Kagami and Adrien. This was the only way he could protect himself from the madness of Gabriel, who was already threatening him with a quick death. Although is it possible to call it death? Is it more correct to call it a disappearance or a transition to a state of non-existence? Are you still not convinced of Adrien's magical birth? Personally, the fact that Gabriel used double rings for absolute manipulation of his son was enough for me initially. Well, if you can refute this theory, write me your comments or inconsistencies you noticed. One day Gabriel tried to explain to Maninette that Adrien was made of a different dough and could not be a match for her. But it goes without saying that Marinette in love cannot be persuaded. And even after Felix and Kagami told Marinette the secret of the royal sister's pregnancy, it didn't scare her away. The finale of the 5th season was their unification into a real free couple in love. But will they be able to be truly happy as a family in the future? Can children born with the help of magic become parents? Adrien is carried out like an ordinary child in the womb, and in fact he is the same person who breathes, feels, experiences pain both physically and mentally, and of course grows and ages like all normal people. Theoretically, he will not be able to have children, just like his mother before she used the talisman. But after all, no one prevents them from repeating the magical birth with the help of the peacock talisman. But the question remains, is it possible to call them people? After all, initially they are more perfect than the others, which was mentioned more than once from the lips of Gabriel and Tamotsuruga. I am interested in your thoughts on all of the above. Do you think the couple Marinette and Adriana can have a baby in the future? Once, Rabbit said about their relationship in the future that everything is difficult for them. Maybe that's what she meant. Perhaps someday the secret of Adrien's birth will stand between them like an insurmountable wall. In general, I am waiting for your emotional comments, and that's all I have for today. Subscribe to the channel, like it and click on the bell. Goodbye, my good ones.